Toyota has great summer deals during the 99 Days of Summer Sales Event and the Toyota National Sales Event. Get 2.49% financing for 60 months on the 2021 Toyota RAV4 Prime SE all-wheel drive, Millersport Highway in Amherst, or shop online at northtowntoyota.com.
Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it at Northtown.
It's a snap.
Buffalo Bills football is brought to you in part by Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys. Call 684-COMP today. And by Toyota, the official vehicle of the Buffalo Bills. Let's go places.
What a great scene today in Orchard Park. No restrictions on the capacity, unlike last year. So it's really the first time a lot of these fans have been to Highmark Stadium in over a year or longer. And it's a warm one today. Temperature is 84 at kickoff, but it feels like it's in the 90s. And Steve, a really surreal pregame atmosphere for a preseason game.
Absolutely, and just driving in today, I mean, usually it's not that difficult to drive in on a game day, on a preseason game day, but this was much more like a regular season atmosphere. People were in the parking lot yesterday getting ready. The camper lot was starting to fill up. You know, the smell was there, barbecue, the grills, everything. The thing that has come to be associated with games in this venue, it looked to be in full force here today, and this just didn't. And it is so hot out, and it's, you know, you go from this in the preseason to, you know, zero, you know, the chilly weather of the January. It's a long time coming, but they see the entire spectrum weather-wise.
Packers won the toss. They elected to defer, so the Bills get the football first. This is Marquez Stevenson on the return. He has flashed in the preseason, but this time tackled at the 20-yard line. And Josh Allen will make his preseason debut for the Buffalo Bills. Sean McDermott telling us he could play anywhere from one series to maybe as long as the first half. It'll be a gut reaction for McDermott as to when he takes Josh Allen out.
Yeah, he's out there with Gabe Davis, Cole Beasley, and Emmanuel Sanders. Steph Diggs probably not going to see any snaps today, but those three out there certainly good enough to give Josh Allen some options in the passing game.
Allen in the shotgun on first down, and a quick toss to Singletary out of the backfield, and he is taken down for a loss on the play. Innis Gaines makes the play for the Packers as we take a look at our Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield Bills starting offense. And other than Steph Diggs, it's the full complement of the ones for Sean McDermott. Singletary out there and catching that pass on first down. Feliciano and Ford getting the start at the offensive guard positions. Allen right back to the air, has time, and connects with Cole Beasley. Up to the 27-yard line before Harris makes the play.
It's always interesting to watch Brian Daboll call plays in the preseason. Now Josh Allen and company will go a little bit no huddle on a 3rd and 3. 2 quick completions for Josh Allen. Getting the ball out of his hands. They do not want to risk it. They want him to knock the rust off, but risk-free.
On 3rd and 3, Allen fires, and it's caught by Gabriel Davis. He's got the first down. Wrestled down by Henry Black, but the Bills move the sticks.
This is indicative of what we saw last year from this offense. Josh Allen being able to put this on there. He throws this before Gabriel Davis even turns around. The timing and chemistry we saw last year seems to be carrying over. This team is so difficult to get off the field on 3rd down. It was true throughout the entire year last year, and it's one of the crucial elements of their success.
A 13-yard pass play to number 13, Gabriel Davis, and Allen is going to keep throwing the ball. This time he finds Knox, and Dawson Knox is tackled at the 47-yard line. And you had to figure, Steve, with Allen playing, they weren't going to hand it off. I mean, they want to get Josh into a rhythm, and we've seen all passes so far.
And, you know, too, the ball's coming out of his hand pretty quick. straight four-man rush by the Packers. Haven't sent any pressure. Josh is under no pressure. And if they're going to do that, it's going to be a pretty easy day for him here.
Should also point out the Packers, like they've done in the first 2 preseason games, are resting the majority of their starters. Here's Emmanuel Sanders into Green Bay territory for a first down.
Yeah, the Packers with 31 guys off the top of their roster that are not going to play today. But Emmanuel Sanders getting his first chance to be seen in a Bills uniform. Here, Josh Allen. A lot's been said about bringing Sanders in, and I said it in the open. Sanders is a guy that the Bills wanted earlier in his career, and now they finally get a chance to line him up. Here he is in the slot at the bottom of your screen.
Josh Allen has started 5 of 5 for 32 yards. Allen, another completion to Davis. And he is taken down at the 41-yard line by Black.
Yeah, the Packers are brought a little bit of pressure now. They get out to the midfield spot. They bring a guy off the top. 5-man rush. Josh Allen sees it. Gabe Davis snaps his route off right underneath the vacated area by Emmanuel Sanders, and it's an easy completion. The ball gets out on time for Josh Allen.
Davis earlier this week was on the reserve COVID list, a close contact, but was removed from that list yesterday. Back to Sanders. Another Buffalo first down, and the ball has not touched the ground yet on this drive by Josh Allen.
This is just a quick gotcha play. Sanders sees it, Josh Allen sees it. Let's just, if they're not going to cover you and get off, just turn around. I'll give it to you. Turn around, get the first down. This is just a little snap read by Josh Allen, Emmanuel Sanders. Didn't matter what play was called. If they're going to give you that throw, take it.
Allen now 7 out of 7. Back to the air. Here comes the pressure. He's able to locate Singletary down the sideline, inside the 30, and shove that out of bounds.
Yeah, got a little bit of pressure finally on Josh Allen, just coming off the guard, the defensive tackle squeezing through there. Josh Allen easily avoids it, but that, the Packers, they brought pressure once and it cost them. Now they're just running a straight 4-man, no games up front for the Packers. The offensive line of the Bills, with their starting 5, at least from a year ago, on the field, seem to have had no trouble yet.
2nd down and 4. Allen, another strike to Sanders, and another Buffalo first down. Yetta makes the tackle for the Packers, but this has been a very impressive drive for Allen and the Bills.
Yeah, he looks to his left, comes back, and then comes back late to his right. And I say late, it only took about a second and a half for the entire play to develop. Josh Allen went from his eyes left, then down to the center of the field to the safeties, and then snapped a quick throw off to the right for the first down.
Allen, plenty of time, now throws, and there's the first incompletion as the pocket was collapsing on the Bills quarterback.
Yeah, he held on to it, and you almost get the feeling that Brian Daboll, Sean McDermott said, listen, if you're going to pat the ball 3 times, throw it in the dirt. He still had some time in the pocket, and you get a feeling in the regular season, that's exactly the kind of play where he athleticizes his way out of it.
Good point.
Not so much there. He just kind of dumped that one. That pass literally had no chance of being completed.
2nd down and 10. Pressure's coming again, and Allen goes down. Chauncey Rivers was able to get back there for Green Bay, along with Jonathan Garvin.
Yeah, and this is Josh Allen slips trying to pivot out of this, but they do get good pressure off both ends from Green Bay, and Allen does the wise thing and goes down. Now, after moving the ball so effectively, the Green Bay defense tightens up, gets some pressure on Josh Allen, gets a throwaway and then a sack.
In the preseason, Buffalo 30% on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 20 for the Bills. Good protection. Allen fires a strike. Touchdown! Gabriel Davis. A 31-yard score, and I don't see any rust. Do you, Steve?
What a hose. He threw that Wow, he threw that from the 35-yard line about 2 yards deep in the end zone, and it never got over 8 feet in the air. I mean, he roped it right over the top of the defender on the goal line, stood tall in the pocket, and that's what we saw last year. And that was a really nice throw to cap off the opening drive.
Fans are chanting MVP for Josh Allen, who on that drive was 10 of 11 for 90 yards. Can't draw it up much better than that if you're Sean McDermott and the Bills. Buffalo takes a 7-0 lead. Josh Allen and the Bills jump out to a 7-0 lead. Cynthia, you said you've been waiting all preseason to see Josh, and he did not disappoint.
When I look at Josh Allen, I see something from last season. The beginning of that drive, he showed us why he had next-gen stats, #1 completion percentage using quick passes. Those are passes that are done in under 2.5 seconds. He started the entire drive off like that, then capped it off with one of those signature deep passes as well. This is a fun one to watch. Andrew?
Yeah, Cynthia, 12 plays, 80 yards, took just over 6 minutes, capped off by the 31-yard strike to Gabriel Davis for the touchdown. Tyler Bass will kick it away, and Shamar John Charles is back deep for Green Bay. That'll be a touchback for Bass.
Yeah, that opening drive is a little bit of what we've seen in training camp in the brief stints I've been able to watch practice. I told some of the old guys that Bruce and Thurman and Jim and those guys. It was like watching those guys back in the 90s. Sometimes you watch these guys practice, and you said it during that last drive. Ball never touched the ground. He's accurate. He's on point. The receivers are on point. The receivers are getting separation. That was a well-executed drive. And even when Green Bay made a little hay up front, got some pressure, they overcame it on a 3rd and 20 to convert the touchdown. That's a big finish.
First time we've seen the Bills starting defense out there going against Jordan Love and the Packers. Aaron Rodgers will not play as A.J. Dillon takes the handoff for Green Bay and picks up a couple of yards. Let's take a look at our Buffalo Bills defense, presented by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, the official healthcare plan of the Buffalo Bills. Jerry Hughes seeing his first taste of preseason action today. Tremaine Edmonds, Matt Milano, A.J. Klein all out there as well.
Yeah, and you know who's at the far defensive end opposite Jerry Hughes is Greg Rousseau.
First-round pick out of Miami, who has 2 sacks in the first 2 preseason games. Jordan Love looking to throw on 2nd down and connects with Josiah DeGuara. And right there to make the tackle was A.J. Klein for the Bills.
Bills coming out in their base defense 90% of the time a year ago. A.J. Klein or the 3rd linebacker was not on the field. They were 2 linebackers, 5 DBs, 90% of the total defensive snaps last year. Here in the early going, the Packers come out in a little bit of a heavy formation with 2 tight ends and some running backs, so they have to go base personnel. Now they're back into their wheelhouse with 5 DBs on the field.
Yeah, Saran Neal comes in to replace A.J. Klein on 3rd down and 4, and the fans making some noise here at Highmark Stadium. Movement up front, there's a flag, and they blow it dead.
This is going to be on Jerry Hughes. Although the offensive lineman jumped, I think he reacted to Hughes. The question is, it was Hughes in the neutral zone.
Referee today is Brad Allen.
Neutral zone infraction. Yep. Number 55, defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, and that's a crusher, and that's preseason right here. Jerry Hughes, and you'll watch as he jumps in, as he crosses the ball. Now, if he twitches and moves, and the reaction from the offensive line happens, it doesn't matter unless Hughes is across the line of scrimmage, which he was. If he just stood up quick or twitched and the offensive lineman reacted, it would be a penalty on the offense.
Hughes, the longest tenured member of this Buffalo team, now in his 9th season with the Bills. So a first down for Green Bay. Play action. Love has some time. Touch pass has a wide open man, and that is Reggie Begelton. Big pickup there for Green Bay and Jordan Love. A gain of 29.
Yeah, Cam Lewis is in coverage and gets turned around on a post corner. And you'll see he's in the back pedal on the inside, and he turns his hips, and then as he turns, and the receiver snaps off that route to the sideline. That's where he gets lost. Lost his vision on the wide receivers. He thought he was going to have to keep that cushion to keep the receiver from running by him. Left himself vulnerable to the out route.
So first down and 10 for Green Bay at the Buffalo 34-yard line. And a handoff to Dillon. Trying the right side. And he's tackled at the 31-yard line. Going back to that last play, Cam Lewis getting the start today because the two corners who are fighting for a starting spot, Dane Jackson and Levi Wallace, who earlier this week Leslie Frazier, the defensive coordinator, said are neck and neck. They are both out today. Jackson is out with a stinger. Levi Wallace didn't practice this week because of a hip injury. So Cam Lewis, the Buffalo product, UB, getting the start today. Second down and 7. And another penalty marker, and this time it's against Green Bay.
False start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty.
Yep, and this is just a easy call. You see it.
That's Malik Taylor, the second-year wide receiver out of Ferris State. Team's leader this preseason with 9 catches and 116 receiving yards. So the penalty backs up Love. He comes out with a quick release and another Green Bay first down. That is Taylor, who was just called for the penalty, making the catch.
Yeah, in coverage there, Tre'Davious White. This is just a deep out as he comes out. Well thrown ball by Love, right on time. Tre'Davious White is right there, well positioned. It throws it, catches it with his body, hard to knock it loose. Nice route, and I'll tell you what, it's a really good throw by Jordan Love.
14-yard pickup. Love did not play last week against the Jets, out with a right shoulder injury, but returned to practice on Monday, and he's going to see a lot of time today for Matt LaFleur. It's Dillon on the handoff, and he muscles his way just down to the 20-yard line.
It's interesting, too, the Bills doing the rotation up front. They are heavy into that on a day like today. I don't know, it's September, or late August. It's really important to have enough healthy bodies to rotate through on the defensive line. You get guys like Addison, Bam Johnson in there now. Justin Zimmer is in the game as well. Vernon Butler. You can bet it'll be 4 different guys if they stay out there any longer than they are.
Second down and 7, and it's Hill. And Hill is pushed back and taken down. Saran Neal with the tackle for the Bills.
This is well executed here up front by the Packers. It looks like it's going to be a kind of an end around, which gives the hesitation on the pursuit from the backside. Saran Neal, the defensive back guys in the defensive back room will tell you Saran Neal's one of the better athletes they've ever been around, and that comes from a defensive backfield room in the NFL. It's hard to stand out in that room. Saran Neal, one of the best athletes you'll ever come across.
Third down and 3, and a handoff to Hill up the middle. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he's brought down finally at the 7-yard line. The rookie Kylan Hill, a 7th-round pick out of Mississippi State, has impressed this summer for Green Bay.
Yeah, Jordan Poyer coming up to make that tackle late. Well blocked once again up front. Bills looked like they were thinking that was going to be a drop back. The quick handoff up inside. Hill does a nice job bouncing that around the garbage right up in front and getting the first down. Well executed play. Green Bay offensive line, I know there's a lot of guys that are not playing up there, but the guys who are doing a nice job.
First and goal. Handoff, Dillon. And he gets inside the 5-yard line. Tremaine Edmonds on the tackle for Buffalo. You know, you were talking about the defensive line for the Bills, and they have so many options down there. It's going to be very interesting as teams have to get down to 53 on Tuesday, how that shakes out for Buffalo, and we might get some insight into that in the third quarter. Bills general manager Brandon Beane will join us in the broadcast booth. .2:15 to go in the first quarter. Second and goal for Green Bay. Their handoff to Dillon, trying to fight his way in at the goal line, and they're going to say he's just short.
Yeah, this has a chance to be a really good football game. I know it's a preseason game, it's the last one and all that, but these are two teams that made it to the championship game last year. Both teams were unable to get to the Super Bowl, and they walk into this season kind of ready to make another step. The Packers have been in 2 consecutive championship games, and they are a deep, talented roster looking to get better, and the Bills are in the exact same spot. They are a deep, talented roster looking to get better. This has a chance to be a really good football game.
On 3rd and goal, Dillon tripped up. A.J. Klein got a hand on Dillon, and it's 4th and goal.
4th and goal, and Packers are going to go for it. I like this call by the Packers. A.J. Klein, that's what he does best. A.J. Klein right over here is really at his best going forward. He's not a drop back into coverage, slide to the side kind of linebacker. He is a go forward, make a tackle kind of guy. Perfectly executed on that play, down the line of scrimmage, play on the offensive side of the football, and he made the play. I like this call by Green Bay going for it. Give Jordan Love a chance to run or pass.
It sounds like a regular season game right now. These fans are incredible. 4th and goal, broken up. And Tre'Davious White got a hand on that one.
Tre'Davious White victimized earlier in the drive with an out route. On this one, knifes in with the offhand and gets a piece of it. Well defended. That's why he's an All-Pro.
The official healthcare system of the Buffalo Bills. Here's Cynthia.
There's 2 keys to this game that I'm watching. The first is who will make this team. Remember, roster cuts down on Tuesday from 80 to 53. This defensive front especially is an area I'm looking at. The defensive tackles, how many will the Bills be able to keep? I know other teams are swooping in, keeping a big eye on who's able to bring that pressure, something that was a big focus of this offseason. And then the other side of the ball, offensive rhythm, keeping Josh Allen, just like we saw in that first drive, efficient, moving the sticks, keeping those first downs coming. That's exactly what they're going to have to look like this entire season, so might as well get it started now.
And a deep shot for Sanders, incomplete. 2 Packers were following Emmanuel Sanders down the field, but the Bills took a shot.
Yeah, this is the kind of situation, and for a lot of people that are saying, hey, what more do you need from Josh Allen? This is the kind of situation I think Sean McDermott would love to see Josh Allen in. A backed up situation, different type of play calling, different considerations when he's in the pocket. Of course, they come out throwing, which strikes fear into the heart of defensive coordinators, and that's one of the things you learn when you start playing football. Do what the other guy fears most, and that's what the Bills did. Come out throwing out of their own end. There's a lot of field and a lot of space to cover.
2nd down and 10. Allen fires, and it's Davis again, and he's got a first down. Makes a nice move, and he's out of bounds around the 30. But Gabriel Davis was able to slip a tackle for some extra yards.
Yeah, this ball comes out really fast. Quick play fake. Davis snaps it off, and the defender just slips on the turf. Davis gets a nice head fake, gets the extra yards. That's how you come out of your own end, and that's a great situational awareness by Davis, getting the extra yards, not just settling for the reception.
A 22-yard pickup as the final seconds tick away here in the opening quarter. Allen over the middle. Beasley reels it in. Another Buffalo first down. And what a quarter it was for Josh Allen and the Bills. Buffalo offense is rolling, and the fans here in Orchard Park love it. We are through 1, and the Bills lead it 7-0 on the Buffalo Bills television network. Start of the second quarter, Buffalo leads it 7-0. Hey, Bills fans, we're giving away an autographed Josh Allen jersey. To enter, simply open your phone's camera, zoom in closely on the QR code displayed on the screen now, and click the link to enter for your chance to win. That's right, scan the QR code on the screen for your chance to win an autographed Josh Allen jersey. Allen in that first quarter, 12 out of 14, 123 yards and a touchdown. Bills did not run the ball in the first quarter, and that screen was getting blown up, and Allen wisely throws it to the ground. Jonathan Garvin was closing quickly.
Yeah, that was a center screen. Breida was kind of standing in there in traffic, and Josh Allen couldn't get the ball to him. offensive line supposed to kind of fake like they didn't get their blocks. They did a really nice job of that because they were in on Josh Allen quick.
The 1st and 10 technology is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Zach Moss in at running back. 2nd down and 10 for Buffalo. And we finally have a handoff. Moss gets a yard. So clearly the game plan was to get Josh Allen in a rhythm. The first run of the game for the Bills comes on the 2nd play of the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice job up front by Daryl Slayton, who knifed in off the outside and ended up right in the hole in front of Zach Moss. It forced him to sidestep in the backfield before falling forward for 1 yard. Well defended.
Bills going with Ike Butker and John Feliciano as their offensive guards on this drive. It's 3rd down and 9 for Allen and the Bills. Allen takes a shot and cannot connect with Sanders. Good coverage on the play by Isaac Yiadom, who was acquired in a trade with the Giants earlier this summer.
Yeah, and that wasn't a 3 and out. The Bills got out of there deep in their own end. Give them a chance to flip the field here with a punt.
And Steve Reed Ferguson, the longtime Bills long snapper, out with a back injury today. So it is the defensive lineman A.J. Epinesa who's serving as the long snapper. He looked good on the extra point snap. Let's see how he does here with Matt Hawk getting ready to punt away to Amari Rodgers. Spinning kick by Hawk, fielded by Rodgers at the 19. And he is taken down by who else on that Bills special teams unit? Saran Neal. What a player he has developed into on special teams. A 44-yard punch, just a 6-yard return.
Retirement should be a time to do the things.
Nothing else comes close.
Bills defense giving up a long first drive, but then when the chips were down, A.J. Klein on 3rd and goal, and then on the 4th and goal, the All-Pro shows up in a big way. Tre'Davious White. The Bills hold the Packers to 0 points, stopping 4 straight downs, down close. Leslie Frazier making the calls there for the Bills defense. Lots of decisions to be made the next couple of days. They run a lot of defensive linemen on a rotation, and who those guys are going to be is still a big question mark, I think, for a lot of Bills fans, and I think for some guys on that coaching staff as well.
And Frazier saying earlier this week we want to get our vets some time on the field before week 1. That's what they're doing. They have the starters out there again as Love pitches to Hill, trying to get to the outside, and he cannot turn the corner. Another tackle by Saran Neal.
Yeah, down inside last year, Starlo Tulele and Ed Oliver were not together. Starlo Tulele and Ed Oliver. You see them how they hold the line of scrimmage. They get pushed sideways, but they don't get pushed back. Starlo Tulele is better than that than most guys. Former first-round pick of the Panthers. He opted out a year ago, back in the lineup. Said earlier in the offseason, he said, or in the preseason, I would like to get some reps. This is his first opportunity to do that.
2nd down and 8. Love looking to the air, has a man. It's Beggleton with some room to run, and then a tackle made at the 35 by Saran Neal.
Yeah, got caught, and that's what happens. You get these guys get so excited. We saw a couple of offsides early on, and then you get them excited about pursuing the football, and when the quarterback comes out the backside, Saran Neal forgot he had the receiver coming out the backside, had to catch back up to it. Greg Rousseau forced a fluttery throw over the top of him as he reached out, but Saran Neal couldn't recover in time to go get the guy.
McDermott telling us this week that it's really an intriguing role for Neal. He's so valuable on special teams that the more he can play defensively, different spots in the defense, the better it is for the Bills, as Greg Rousseau applied the pressure to Love on that play.
Yeah, Rousseau along with Starlo Tulele again. Looked like it was going to be a throwback, and Love kind of has to pivot. This pressure comes as they pursue down the line on the play action, and then all of a sudden, Rousseau, we saw this in the Chicago game as well. Doesn't look like he's running fast, but he is so tall and so long-legged. He covers ground fast, and he gets on the quarterback very quickly, and he forced the throwaway there by Love.
2nd down and 10. And it's Hill up the middle with some room to run, and he picks up a Green Bay first down. Up to the 47-yard line before Edmonds makes the tackle, an 11-yard run.
Rousseau's given a lot of people some hope for this season. In the opening game, he gets in and he reaches around the tackle, gets in the quarterback's vision in Detroit, and then in Chicago, same thing. He reaches in and puts his hand on Andy Dalton's shoulders. Dalton feels it and tucks the ball away before he really has a grasp on him. His presence and his length makes the quarterback feel him a lot quicker than he's actually present in the quarterback's area.
Love has a man but overthrows Sternberger. Going back to Rousseau, you saw Bruce Smith, the Bills legend, this past Monday at Jim Kelly's golf tournament, and then Bruce Smith went to Bills practice on Tuesday, spent a lot of time with Greg Rousseau, and Bruce Smith saying that he sees a young Simeon Rice. And that's high praise from Bruce Smith for Greg Rousseau.
Simeon Rice was a really good pass rusher, and Bruce would know better than I thought Greg Rousseau was a comparable guy to like Jason Taylor as well, a very long, lean athlete. Plays with great leverage. Bruce spent virtually the entire week with the Bills defensive line.
How many shots do you have to give Bruce on the golf course, though?
Not many. He's a tough negotiator, though. I will say that. He's hard to intimidate. So, yeah. Yeah, actually, I'll tell you, we were supposed to, the tournament was on Monday. We were supposed to play on Sunday, the day before the tournament. He couldn't because he was coaching. And so he spent the entire week over there every day in coach's gear, t-shirt, shorts, working with those guys. It was fun to see, and I know he really enjoyed it.
3rd down and 7 for Green Bay with Rodgers in motion. That would be Amari Rodgers, the 3rd-round pick out of Clemson. Quick pass to Beggleton. He's been busy here in the first half, and they're going to spot him right near the sticks. Not a great spot for Green Bay. Boogie Basham in on that stop.
Put him at the 44-yard line. They got to get the 43 for the first. Yeah, just inside a yard. Brings up a 4th down, and the Packers will go for it again. Whether they would or not in the regular season, I like this in the preseason at least. You can make it harder on yourself. You know, you act like you've got to get this first down and put some pressure on some guys to see how they handle it. I like this call once again from Matt LaFleur.
4th and inches. And LaFleur wants a timeout.
Yeah, that was Jordan Love. They couldn't get lined up.
So the Packers use their first timeout of the first half. We'll come back with 4th and 1 right after. Are sold out, but single game tickets are still available. Pick a must-see matchup and find tickets directly through the Bills' official ticket source, Ticketmaster. Visit BuffaloBills.com/tickets to purchase your single game tickets today. It's a hot day, and you got to stay hydrated. Tre'Davious White getting a little extra fluids before this 4th and 1 for the Packers. A.J. Dillon is the running back. A great crowd today making some noise on 4th down. Love throws. He's got a wide open man. That's Daphne. And Daphne all the way down to the 20-yard line before Micah Hyde makes the tackle. A 24-yard pickup.
Yeah, the defensive back right here, Klein, is going to come up, catch the boot, and he's going to jump right up in the face, and just a dropped coverage in the secondary. Daphne, great look by Jordan Love, making sure, you know, he threw that right on his body on a 4th and 1. You're trying to get the catch. Don't try and lead him out there, make a huge play. Just get the first, give yourself another chance. Nice, soft, easy throw for the guy to catch and get the first down. Great play by Jordan Love.
Love 6 out of 9 for 84 yards. Wants more, stumbles, just throws one up in the end zone, and it's picked off. Big mistake by Jordan Love, and Micah Hyde makes him pay.
Yeah, not the smartest decision by Love right there. He just made a really smart play on the throw to convert the 4th down. He puts this up, and really what a quarterback is asking, Andrew, make a play for me, guy. Come on, make a play. And the receiver couldn't make a play on it, and Micah Hyde does.
Play play in the end zone after an ill-advised pass by Jordan Love.
Well, the pressure comes, and this is what teams are going to get from the Bills this year. Epineza, Rousseau, they're long, and a quarterback feels like he has to get away from them to throw the football. Jordan Love puts a lot of arc on this, kind of a Russell Wilson type throw. The rainbow, make a play for me, my guy. And there's just too many Bills down there at the other end.
Feliciano and Butker remain the starting guards. Josh Allen still under center for Buffalo. And it's a handoff to Breida. He's got great speed, and Matt Breida is forced out of bounds. A 15-yard run for Matt Breida before Christian Uphoff catches up with him.
It's one of the things Buffalo wanted to do, is to get a home run hitter on their offensive backfield. Breida does have that. He's very fast. You saw him get down the field, and the Packers had to go full throttle right away to catch up to him. He gets an easy first down on a 15-yard gain and on a quick little inside handoff.
Only played 11 games with the Dolphins last year. He was not their main back, but he went to the Super Bowl with San Francisco, and he's a nice addition here for Brandon Beane and the Bills as Sanders comes close to another Buffalo first down. A late shove that the fans don't like here in Orchard Park.
Yeah, it's a quick, easy. This is another little quick, easy completion to Sanders as he comes out, and Josh Allen saw it, Sanders saw it, and don't even know if it was a play call, although I think this one might have been a play call where Allen comes out, and if it's there, snap the throw out on the off coverage and get a nice little 8-yard gain on first down. It's just something that good quarterbacks and teams are there. We have veteran receivers, a lot of experience, and some reps gives you the confidence you can just get that 8 yards on first down.
2nd down and 2. It's a pitch to Moss. He's got blockers in front, and Moss has the first down into Green Bay territory. A flag flies in.
Might be a low block on the outside. This is a new rule where if offensive linemen go out wide, they cannot lay low blocks out, or it could be a hold as well.
Holding. Offense number 13. 10-yard penalty. Down.
That's on Gabriel Davis, who caught the touchdown back in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was not one of the offensive linemen. Right up here, he's going to get engaged on the outside. That's John Charles.
In the first preseason game against the Lions, the Bills had 9 penalties for 112 yards. But last week, they really cleaned it up in Chicago. Only 4 penalties for 28 yards. 2nd down and 12. Allen, quick pass right to Davis. And Davis is stood up. Ento on the tackle for the Packers.
Yeah, Ray Wilborn was out there very fast as well. Nice coverage by the linebacker from the inside. Wilborn out of Ball State. He covered some ground on that, and that's one of the things that linebacker. It's a dicey situation for linebackers these days. You get these teams that are going 4 wide, 3 wide like Buffalo does. You need linebackers who can really run and cover. But then teams are starting to swing back the other way, like Baltimore, like some of these other teams that will hand the ball off, and you need some bigger, heavier bodies in there. It's hard to find a guy who can be both.
3rd down and 8. Allen on the move, throws, and Beasley with a sliding grab. Bills now 3 for 4 on 3rd downs, a 14-yard pickup.
Yeah, this is Josh Allen buying some time. He just steps up in the pocket, runs to the sideline. Knows that the pursuit's not going to get there. He gets rid of it easily, and Beasley goes down. Nice throw and catch.
And Bills going no huddle here on 1st and 10 with 7:10 to go in the first half. Allen, a strike, but not on the same page with Beasley there.
Just not enough. He was actually looked down late in that play. After he threw that, he looked at Dawson Knox, was wanting some help from him. Didn't think Knox pulled the safety off quick enough or something of that nature. Yeah, he just missed Beasley on that throw.
Let's check in with Cynthia Freeland.
Well, we just saw on that last play something we've seen a ton of, and that would be Josh Allen completing a pass to, of course, Cole Beasley. And when you talk about all the things that Josh Allen does on the run, well, he's the 3rd best in terms of completing passes on the run last season, something we see again in this game. However, we saw one time now movement before the snap. Oh, no, the 2nd time just now, movement ahead of the snap, an area that the Bills were 2nd best in last season in terms of completing passes.
And Cynthia, on cue, they go to Breida there with some extra burst after making the catch.
Yeah, so much happens in the preseason. Most people talk about how vanilla offenses are and how little they do offensively and how little few things they show. I think the Bills have shown more, particularly in the Chicago game with Trubisky at quarterback and also here today with Josh Allen. They have a larger menu of plays they're going to, and I think that's one of the reasons Brian Daboll's play calling, they've been successful in these preseason games.
Let's see where they go on 3rd and 2. Allen and not able to connect with Sanders. He was open. Josh Allen is now begging Sean McDermott to go for it on 4th down. He's going to win his case.
Sean McDermott looked at Heath Farwell, the special teams coordinator, gave him the stiff arm. So they're going to let him stay out on the field. McDermott really has shown at different times the willingness to let his players play. I mentioned in the open the Week 17 game last year where it didn't help the Bills or hurt the Bills. He let those guys play a large portion of the first half, if not all the way through halftime. Let them play, and here in the preseason, Josh Allen on a 4th down.
4th down and 2. Allen, nobody home. He's got a lane to run, and he picks up the 1st down. And this preseason on 4th down, the Bills are now 5 for 5 after that run by Allen.
Well, Allen is a big reason they're 5 for 5 in that one. Running quarterbacks are the best short yardage running backs. And they've always got the football in their hand. You always have that option of giving them a chance just to either quarterback sneak it or when a play breaks down to dive on a 4th and short. A quarterback who's an athlete like Allen, like Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers certainly fits into that as well. Cam Newton in New England. These guys, it's so difficult on short yardage to stop them.
1st down and 10. Pressure's coming. Allen able to locate the screen. He's got his man Nate Becker for a 1st down. 2nd catch of the preseason for Becker. And he gets 13.
Yeah, the tight ends have been a little bit of a question mark here. You see double tight end formation over here as Becker is the inside guy. He's going to step out as a pass pro, then just turn around after the defender pursues the quarterback, makes the catch, and bowls his way for a nice gain.
Becker played in 1 game last year. He spent most of the season on the practice squad. And Buffalo's drive continues. This is the 11th play. Inside 5 minutes to go in the 1st half. Hand off to Moss. He's got room. Morse in front of him. And Moss has another Buffalo 1st down. A late flag comes in from the secondary.
Oh, this is a late hold.
And Darrell Williams had his head down. Let's see if it goes against the Bills' right tackle.
Yeah, Darrell Williams and Deion Dawkins are having a conversation.
Holding. Offense, number 80. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
It goes on the tight end, Hollister.
He's right here at the end of the line of scrimmage outside Darrell Williams. This is a very, very late call as he goes up into the 2nd level, gets to the linebacker. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to see on that where there was a penalty. It was a very late call, so there you have it.
It pushes the Bills back to the 28-yard line. Empty backfield for Allen. Feels the pressure. Steps up. Throws behind his body to Beasley. Inside the 10 for a 1st down. How about that throw by Josh Allen?
That's a really difficult throw to make across. You're opening your hips wide without turning and facing the other direction. Throwing it backwards across the middle of the field. Man, that's a throw that 2 years ago I don't think Josh Allen even attempts to make. He'll just tuck the ball and run. Now, with the confidence he has in Cole Beasley, his receivers, and his own abilities, I think he makes throws or attempts throws like that more often now instead of running the football.
1st and goal for Buffalo. Allen to Breida. Breida at the 6 and knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Up off with another tackle for Green Bay.
Yeah, no gain there. That was, yeah, that play that Josh Allen just made, and that's one of the things as a receiver you kind of get used to. Not that that's not a special play, it is, but you get used to making yourself available somewhere, some way. And a guy like Josh Allen with his abilities, you know, he can throw it back across the field against his body. He can make some throws and deliver a ball into an open area if you can get there. And that's, you know, your receivers become used to being available or making themselves available, and makes your offense more effective.
14th play of the drive. Moss slips, stays on his feet, and bulldozes his way down to the 3-yard line. Jack Heflin on the tackle for Green Bay.
Gets down inside the 5, brings up a 3rd and goal from about the, what is going to be a little inside the 4, just right at the 3-yard line.
And again, Buffalo going no huddle.
And I think I'd like to see this 4-down territory, but we'll see if Sean McDermott agrees if they do not convert.
Now Allen changing the play at the line. And a timeout is called by Green Bay. They didn't like something they saw with Allen changing the play. Defensive coordinator Joe Barry in his first year in charge of the Packers defense after spending the last 4 seasons with the Rams.
One of the problems, no, I think so. You're right. Not sure. I'd like to see a pre-snap look at that, but that Josh Allen seeing something before the snap. He was going to change that into a play. When you're playing with the starters, you have a little more leeway as the starting quarterback to make some adjustments. Don't always know if that's the case when it's the 3rd stringers or 2nd stringers with the backup quarterback. If everybody can get on that same page so quickly to be flexible enough to change a play that quickly and that effectively down here deep.
Packers have 1 timeout remaining in the half. And now 3rd and goal for the Bills. They're 3 for 5 on 3rd downs today. Allen to Moss for the touchdown. What a day for Josh Allen and the Bills. Well, his 2nd touchdown pass of the half, and it's 13-0.
Jack Heflin of the Packers came bearing down on Allen. He saw him, but just stood tall and accepted the hit to deliver the ball. He had total trust in the receiver to be there when he was supposed to. Watch Josh Allen. He's going to drop back. Heflin's coming right in on him, and he throws it, stands there, had to wait for that extra half a beat, and trust the receiver would be there in time for him to take the hit after the ball was gone.
A 15-play, 80-yard drive by Allen and the Bills, and there's the snap by Epinesa. It was low. It kind of bounced up to Matt Hawk, and the try is no good. Told you earlier, Reed Ferguson, the Bills' long snapper, not playing today because of a back injury. It's 13-0, the Bills in front of Green Bay after an 80-yard drive capped off by the touchdown pass from Josh Allen to Zach Moss. Extra point was no good. Look at Josh Allen's day, 20 of 26 for 194 yards and 2 touchdown passes.
It seems really good.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that. It's been a great day. You would think that his day is done, unless maybe they get the ball back late here, maybe a 2-minute offense.
I think that's probably what they'll say. And interesting, but maybe Leslie Frazier will be, Sean McDermott tells Leslie Frazier, hey, maybe get more aggressive defensively so that we can get the ball back and get a 2-minute drill.
Time now for our Wesley Clark and Peshkin real fact. Mario Addison's 5 sacks last season tied A.J. Klein for the most on the team. Combined with the previous 4 years as a Panther, Addison is now tied for or led his team in sacks in each of the last 5 seasons. He's going to turn 34 on September 6th. Now in his 2nd season with the Bills, but 11th in the NFL. So last time out, Jordan Love threw that interception in the end zone. It led to the Buffalo touchdown. Let's see what he does here with 1 timeout. Drops the snap, and down to the ground he goes.
Ball handling. And that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning here with 4 seconds. The Packers will huddle up. This is going to go to the 2-minute warning, and the Bills get him on a 2nd and 15, 2nd and 14.
Love is 6 out of 10 for 84 yards and an interception here at the 2-minute warning.
One season, 9 home games, one team. Let's show our hometown, our team, and the whole country what we're made of as Buffalo Bills fans. Welcome back to Highmark Stadium, Western New York, from the health plan that covers more fans in the area than anyone else. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York. Together, we make a mark.
In doing the work you do.
In with exclusive team content all year long. The Bills mobile app gives you access to real-time breaking news, live streaming video, on-demand highlights, feature stories, press conferences, and a behind-the-scenes look at all things Bills. The app is free in both the Apple and Android app stores. Bills have pulled some of their defensive starters. The safeties are out. Tre'Davious White is out. Movement up front. Free play for Green Bay. Love takes a shot down the field. And did Taylor hold on? Yes, they're saying that's a catch for Malik Taylor along the sideline.
Yeah, it was an offsides up front by Ed Oliver, trying to get a jump. I have to talk to my guy Bruce Smith about coaching these guys.
On defense, the penalty is result of the play is a first down.
So 25-yard pickup, Love to Taylor. First down and 10 at the 47. Love, quick pass, and that one's reeled in by Taylor, trying to get out of bounds. He does, escorted out by Nick McLeod, who has taken Tre'Davious White's spot.
Here's the catch that Taylor made on the sidelines in the middle of some traffic. So McLeod was in coverage, goes up, catches it, and its right foot came down. Looked like it came down. I didn't see it over the white, but it happened fast. Good catch. He's made a couple of plays.
And he's been battling for a roster spot with Green Bay, but then earlier this week, Devin Funchess back to IR, and that does bode well for Taylor's chances to make this squad. Pressure coming from Hughes. Love able to see it and escape. And Jordan Love picks up a first down, chased out by Cam Lewis.
Athletic quarterback. I think did a nice job stepping up in the pocket. The defensive ends for Buffalo getting a little too deep on their pass rush. Ended up opening up wide areas for them. Bills in man coverage dropping out, and nobody was watching Love, and quarterbacks love that. They enjoy that, pushing the ball down the field with nobody chasing them.
Green Bay with one timeout to work with and 1:41 on the clock. And a handoff to Hill. And he's had some success running up the middle against this Bills defense, down to the 27-yard line. Going back to Jordan Love, he played collegiately at Utah State. He is one of 3 Mountain West Conference quarterbacks to ever go in the first round. The other 2, Alex Smith, who just retired, and, of course, Josh Allen. In fact, we saw a sweet Wyoming Josh Allen jersey in the stands before the game.
That's a deep dive by a fan.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I like that. Love, and the pass nearly batted down, but Rodgers able to get it and pick up the first. Looked like Epinesa just missed knocking that one down.
Yeah, once again, Love did a nice job delivering that ball, just missing the defensive lineman, trying to swat that down. Epinesa once again getting up high, forcing Love to kind of get rid of it quicker and get it out wider. Epinesa getting up the field. Has shown some really good things. Came back a much different player than he was a year ago. Last year he struggled with his weight, struggled with where he was going to play, feeling comfortable at a lighter weight than he was in college. He came back this year, spent a lot of time in Buffalo in the offseason, and Epinesa's efforts have shown up here in the preseason.
With Aaron Rodgers watching, Love is able to, no, not a catch, hit the turf looking for Rodgers.
Cam Lewis once again in coverage there. And I have to just, you never see, and I'm not sure I'm trying to compare Aaron Rodgers, Josh, something, you just never see those throws fall incomplete with some quarterbacks. Seems like they always have it. Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers in this case. I mean, that guy, when you picture Aaron Rodgers throwing it, you almost picture him leaning backwards and backing up. You know, he's just so good at delivering the football.
The reigning NFL MVP, a flag down before the snap.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 50. 5 penalty. Second down.
It's on Greg Rousseau. You're not going to knock Bruce Smith again for that.
I think I might.
Really?
Talk to him.
That's because he's not here.
That's 3 in this half that have happened the week he started coaching them.
Better hope he's not watching right now. Rousseau comes off. Second down and 5. Love, screen to Hill, slips, gets back up. Hill down at the 10, cut down by Saran Neal, who's been very active in the first half for Buffalo. 7-yard gain.
You laugh about it. I think this defense, if it's going to get better, it's going to have to happen up front. As you see this play happen, when the defense is all hepped up to pursue and get over it, and as you see that nice tackle there inbounds.
Bills call timeout.
One of the things that Bruce Smith said in his comments about coaching these guys, obviously you got to play on theirs, you got to beat the offensive lineman off his mark. You got to beat them, you got to explode into the backfield. And you can tell these guys are trying to get a jump on the snap. And he's right. I saw Bruce Smith play on the offensive side of the football more plays than he did on the defensive side. He was just always in their side of, their side of the line of scrimmage. And he's trying to impart that on his players. And I think most of these young guys, we've seen them, they're trying to get on the snap of the ball, get a jump on the ball. And three times this half, they got there too quick.
On 1st and goal, it's Hill up the middle again, inside the 5 and down at the 3. And Sean McDermott calls his second timeout.
At this point, it's about maybe having a chance to answer with some points of your own if you're the Buffalo Bills, stopping that clock. If you don't do that, then the Green Bay Packers, with 1 timeout left, could run it down, take 2 plays or 3 plays with their timeout, could still, give you the ball back, score a touchdown with negligible time left on the clock. Now the Bills are in time-saving mode, and this is one of the things a lot of teams do not do, particularly defensive coaches. Give your offense a chance. They're trying to get out of the half without giving up points, and Sean McDermott saying, I don't care, whatever happens, we need some time on the clock because our guys can go. That's something a lot of defensive coordinator coaches forget to do, and in this case, Sean McDermott using the timeout gives them a chance maybe to snatch away some points at the end of the first half.
Hill on 2nd and goal is stuffed.
And he calls his last timeout there as well. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5 after a 2-yard loss. And now it's a good strategy there, because now from the 5-yard line on a 3rd down, it almost begs the Packers to put the ball in the air. And then if you can force the incompletion, stops the clock, and now you've done it. Now you get them in 4th and goal, and you're going to have some time left on the clock for your offense. But this is one where, I'd be surprised, and maybe this is where you do it if you're Green Bay. Try and run the football in, and if you do make some yardage, then you can decide whether you want to go for it on 4th down on a run play or an offensive play, or settle for the field goal. Either way, if I'm the Pack, I don't know, I almost might try and run this football in instead of throw it.
3rd and goal. Fans making noise here at Highmark Stadium. Love demanding a play clock runs out, and a delay of game against Green Bay.
Yeah, skip what I just said about running it now. Now it's 3rd and 10. And Love was trying to scream and stomp his foot and give the nonverbal signal as well as scream, and you just can't hear.
Oh, we asked Sean McDermott about the fans, and he said it's a different dynamic communication-wise, and that's why I want to see our starters play, just to get some of that communication ready to roll for week 1. It's working in the opposite direction for Love and the Packers here.
Well, the starting secondary is out. We'll see how Jordan Love fares.
Pressure coming, Love to the end zone, and it's broken up. Andre Smith got a hand on that one in the end zone, and it's 4th down.
prevented the interception by Saran Neal. Love was throwing he threw this off balance, kind of looking the other way. Didn't see Saran Neal standing there. Andre Smith goes up and tips it away because Saran Neal right there is begging him to let it go, and he would have intercepted that and been going the other direction.
Another rough pass there by Jordan Love. Lucky it was not picked off in the end zone for the second time. And LaFleur sends out Mason Crosby for a field goal, and it's wide left. Mason Crosby last year, including the playoffs, was 16 for 16 kicking field goals. That was his first field goal attempt of the preseason, and it's no good.
And now we'll see, as you see this field goal replay, the Bills send out Jake Fromm to play quarterback here at the end of the first half. 28 seconds left. He'll go out there with a guy that the Green Bay Packers know very well, Jake Kumaro, at wide receiver.
Yeah, former Packers. Take a look at Fromm, who so far this preseason 11 of 20 for 85 yards. He's been sacked 4 times, but he did have that great drive late in the Detroit game, the first game for Buffalo that led to the game-winning field goal. Bills 2-0 in the preseason. Packers 0-2. So Josh Allen's day is done. 20 of 26, 194 yards, and 2 touchdown passes for Allen.
For those of you keep, that's a 122 quarterback rating.
That stat is a strange one, though. I mean,
yes,
could you explain that to me? Quarterback rating?
It's it's a rating that they give to quarterbacks.
Okay,
that's about all as far as
that's all I need to go.
I was told there'd be no math.
So Fromm takes a knee, and don't go anywhere because Cynthia will grab Sean McDermott on his way to the locker room, and we'll have a reminder. Brandon Beane, the Bills general manager, joining us in the booth in the third quarter. All smiles here for the Bills. Allen and Boyer having some fun as they head in. And Cynthia is with Sean McDermott.
I'm here with Coach McDermott. Coach, in the first half, you didn't even run the ball until the second quarter. Did you get what you needed out of this offense? What were you trying to show us today?
Well, I thought we got into a rhythm offensively there in that first drive. But overall, we were sloppy. Sloppy with penalties, sloppy with drop passes, not getting off blocks. We can't do that. We had them in 3rd and long the first drive, or a 3rd and short situation, chance to get off the field, and we jump offside. So a lot to work on.
I know this is a preseason game, but there are 50,000 fans here, including on that last drive, helping to maybe throw the other team off a little bit. How does it feel to have fans back?
Only in Buffalo, right? This only happens for a preseason game in Buffalo, so we're happy to see them back, and we need that home field advantage.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Have a great season.
All right, Cynthia and Sean McDermott, thank you. He's right. An awesome atmosphere for a preseason game here at Highmark Stadium, and they were treated to some good play from the Bills starters for the first time this summer. Josh Allen, 2 touchdown passes. And at the break, Buffalo leads 13-0. Coming up, it's the Northtown Automotive season schedule for the Bills, but the focus here today is on Josh Allen as we welcome you back to the broadcast booth with Steve Tasker. I'm Andrew Catalan. We'll hear from Cynthia Freeland coming up. Josh Allen, 20 of 26, a $194, 2 touchdown passes. I think he's ready, Steve.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine it going better than it did. He got some easy completions to start out with, made some plays with his legs, made some off-script plays, and then made a couple of throws that were eye-popping. Showed his athleticism. He also took a couple of shots, physical shots that he got up and walked away from. So that's part of it as well. You want to see him mix it up and do this. This touchdown throw right here to Moss was a perfect example. He accepted the blitz, took the shot after delivering the ball for the touchdown. Is exactly what you want from your starting quarterback. Yeah, it could not have gone better as far as Buffalo's quarterback is concerned.
How did it look down on the field, Cynthia?
Well, when you watch Josh Allen down on the field, you cannot even think because the people are so loud. But I want to talk about Gabriel Davis, who caught that touchdown pass, and what he can do. The next-gen stats show that he is a deep threat. Those air yards per target, well, he's top 10 in the league last season, that forecast to go up. One of the other things to notice about him is how he handles his body control, especially near the sidelines. His body control, coming down with the ball and staying in bounds, and then, of course, turning it up towards the end zone. Andrew?
Davis in the first half. Josh Allen, his day is done. It'll be the Packers who get the football to start the second half, trailing 13-0.
It was funny. You watch Josh Allen come out in the pregame warm-ups and all that. You know, the guys, the word has it, everybody loves playing for the guy. He's a real team-first guy. And you see every guy that comes out of line, he's got some sort of special handshake greet that he does with even defensive guys, offensive linemen. They all have some sort of secret handshake with Josh Allen. It's something that's kind of funny. You see him even on the bench now talking to Taron Johnson, the nickel quarterback. So it's really become Josh Allen's team, no question about it. And it's a team poised for what a lot of people hope and predict are big, big things this season.
One of your former teammates is right next to us in the Packers preseason broadcast booth. That's James Lofton calling the game with Kevin Harlan for the Packers telecast.
Yeah, it's good to see him as well. What a difference maker he was as a player, almost a Hall of Famer in only his Packers career, and of course coming to Buffalo and playing in the Super Bowls with us with a stint in the Oakland organization as well. James Lofton, great Hall of Fame player. Love starting the second half for Green Bay and connects with Beggleton for an 8-yard pickup. There is James. Yeah, he's a good friend, man. He's the best. You work with him in the regular season for CBS. You two are in the booth together, so you guys have a relationship as well. So
well, I told him that, you know, I only signed up to work with him 18 weeks this year. This 19th week. I didn't expect to have to spend more time with him. He is one of a kind. He's a treasure. 7-yard pickup on first down for Love. And the handoff goes to Patrick Taylor, who's chopped down for a loss. And Ed Oliver still out there for the Buffalo defense making a play. Yeah, Ed Oliver still out there in the rotation. That was a great, he kind of run around block. Going to come right around right here. Actually, it's right here. Yeah, I'm sorry. And he came from around the guard and caught that from behind. An explosive, fast, athletic guy. And everybody says, yeah, he's a little undersized, He's 290, he's 287. And in today's NFL, what is that, extra medium? Something like that? Yeah. 3rd down and 6 with the play clock at 2. Matt LaFleur took a timeout.
Charge timeout. Green Bay, their first. It will be 30 seconds.
Well, they took a delay of game penalty late in the second quarter, and LaFleur wanted to avoid taking another one here in the third. Yeah, it seems like once in a while, Green Bay, when you get down to the guys that are trying to make the squad and they're just trying to think about competing, they forget. Sometimes it's hard to even get lined up in the right spot, particularly the splits. You get the splits right, or if you get inverted where you got one guy outside the guy you're supposed to be out, or inside it, whether you're a slot or a wing. Looked like LaFleur didn't like what he was looking at in the play clock. They were going to have to adjust the play. Didn't have enough time to do it, and LaFleur burned a timeout. Third and 6. Now Sean McDermott's taking a timeout. What? Okay.
Charge timeout. Buffalo, their first. Timeout.
This must be a really important 3rd down right here.
Timeout on the field with 13:33 to go in the third quarter.
Welcome to your new emergency department.
The first impression for most patients is going to be just a big wow.
It's everything that we've wished for and dreamed for the patients and the staff.
Our look has changed, but our commitment to you has remained the same.
To provide every patient the highest quality of care delivered with compassion.
And now we've taken it to a whole new level.
At ECMC, our passion is our patients.
One season, 9 home games, one team. Let's show our hometown, our team, and the whole country what we're made of as Buffalo Bills fans. Welcome back to Highmark Stadium, Western New York. From the health plan that covers more fans in the area.
Josh Allen in that first team offense today.
Yeah, those guys did a good job. Dayball didn't pull any punches. He came right out throwing the ball as he likes to do. And I thought Josh and the first team really did a good job of controlling it and taking shots when they were there.
How tough of it was a decision to go with the starters? We've seen a lot of teams play it differently this summer. Green Bay is a perfect example. No Aaron Rodgers. Was it a tough call to put Allen out there as the Bills come up with a sack?
Yeah, you know, it is. There's no perfect answer. You wish you had a crystal ball and could say, hey, if this player's going to get hurt, we'll hold him out or whatever. But you also have to get ready, and you got to play your guys. And, you know, we play Pittsburgh, and I know they've played their guys some as well. And, you know, we just felt at the end of the day, the guys that could go that had been practicing, you know, we obviously, Diggs has been working his way back. We held him out. But for the most part, we wanted to get our starters some work in the first half.
Yeah, as this training camp comes to a close and this preseason comes to a close here in the second half of the last preseason game, your job just begins. It's going to be long hours here from now until Tuesday. And certainly, as you see a dive play off on 2nd and 20, certainly the bulk of the work has been done. You're looking at, well, what, 10 guys, 12 guys, 5 guys, 3 guys, you know, a handful of guys that may or may not make the team.
Yeah, no, I think we've narrowed it down to, you know, and some of it is, do you want an extra guy at this position or do you want to go heavier here? Right. What would be more value for the season? What would be more value on game day? You know, obviously special teams will factor in as well. So some tough decisions, but that's part of the process. You don't want it to be too easy or you didn't do a good enough job with your roster.
On 3rd and 14, Love steps up, and he is hit hard at the 40-yard line. Andre Smith has been very active here in the preseason. He makes another tackle.
As you see that this will be, I guess, the first punt that we've got a chance to actually watch the Packers punt. They moved the ball pretty well in the first half. They had a couple of turnovers as well. You know, the special teams do come into play, particularly when you've got certain positions on your team that seem so deep, but usually defensive line, if you've got defensive linemen as you're so deep in, it's hard to find guys like that can play special teams.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Daryl Johnson's been one of Heath Farwell's favorite and has done a great job. Good rush there.
And here's Stevenson on the return from his own 3-yard line. We know he's got speed. He's already taken one back this summer, and he's able to get across the 20-yard line.
Yeah, so, you know, Daryl is one of those guys.
Hold that thought, Brennan. We'll come back and we'll get your thoughts on Daryl right after this.
Comp Attorneys.
Bills lead the Packers 13-0 here in the third quarter. We are continued to be joined in the booth by Bills general manager Brandon Beane. And before that break, you wanted to make a point about Darrell Williams. And we have questions about your defensive line because, Brandon, that's clearly a strength of this team right now.
Yeah, it is. You know, Darrell and all those guys have, and we were talking about AJ last year. Epinesa played some, you know, 2 or 3 phases for us as well. So it'll be important. You know, obviously we want them to rush the passer, stop the run, but beyond that, what else can they do on 4th down for us? And that will factor as not necessarily the starters, but, you know, that last, you know, 3rd or 4th in.
Right, and it comes down to, if you have good players, you want to keep an extra player or 2 there, but it means you're going to go thin. Now, 90% of the snaps last year, you only had 2 linebackers on, but notoriously, linebackers give you a lot of special teams players, so it's a give and take.
It's tough. It's tough. You sit there and ask yourself, you know, all these questions. And again, I said earlier, you'd love to have a crystal ball and see how it's going to play out. But you're right. The way the game's changed, your nickel player plays way more snaps than your 3rd linebacker does. Right. So let's make sure we have depth there. Obviously, the corners, the DBs. So you're right. As much as we play, you know, 2 linebackers out there versus 3, that will factor into whether we keep 5 or keep 6.
I called him Darrell Williams before. I was talking about Daryl Johnson. We know what all impact he made on special teams a year ago, 2nd on the team in tackles. But Brandon, as we were talking about, you have so many good players at that position. Do you expect a busy week in terms of trades? We saw a couple in the league today. Gardner Minshew going to Philadelphia. Do you think it'll be an active time the next couple of days?
I think there's going to be a lot of phone calls, and we'll have to see what makes sense. You know, obviously, I'm going to meet with the medical people tomorrow and go through how we got out of this game, make sure we're deep enough to move a player. And, yeah, I mean, that's probably the position we've had the most calls is our D-line and especially the DN. So I imagine we'll get some calls. We just have to decide again there how many we want to keep and who we'd be willing to part with and if the value made sense for us.
Sure.
You have got some young offensive linemen, Spencer Brown, Tommy Doyle, Jack Anderson. who was heavy in the draft. I mean, it was one of those drafts, and from the naked eye, it looked like those guys have performed pretty well. What are your thoughts on them and their ability to maybe make the team or at least practice squad, of course?
Yeah, I mean, it was a meat and potatoes draft. We said that after that. It wasn't the sexiest one, but Spencer Brown, starting with him, he's done a heck of a job. I mean, Dion started on the COVID list, and so he got put right out at the beginning of camp as the left tackle, and it wasn't too big for him. And for a guy who was out last year, played at Northern Iowa, and their whole season was canceled, I thought he did a heck of a job, because that's obviously a huge jump from that level to the NFL, and it showed. We went to Detroit. He did a really good job at left. And then last week we get Dion back, and he moves over to right and starts over there. And really, he obviously went against Khalil Mack and some of those guys. And again, he wasn't afraid. It wasn't too big for him. Unfortunately, he dinged his knee a little bit, so we held him out today. But excited about the versatility as a swing tackle he brings us. And then Tommy Doyle, we got him out of Miami of Ohio, another 6'8", 6'9" young man. And he came out of that game last week with a bruised knee, but he's back today, and we'll get some play time. So excited about him. Jack Anderson. Jack started a little slow for us, but has really done a good job in the games, and looking forward to watching him out here. And he'll definitely be in the mix as we pare this thing down.
Really, all of your draft picks this year have shown something in the preseason. We've talked so much about Greg Rousseau, but what have you seen from Boogie Basham there this summer? Yeah, Boogie has done a great job. Probably started a little heavier than we wanted him to in camp, and it was, how much do we want to play him inside? How much do we want to play him on the edge? But that's come down just with natural playing football. And, I thought last week was his best practice game. In that game versus the Bears, I thought it was his best day, and he's picked up this week where he left off, and you can see the confidence that he's gained. I think Greg definitely started ahead of him, but Boogie, he's coming, and we're excited about what he'll bring for us this season. Not necessarily ready to start, but definitely in that rotation. You guys know how we like to rotate 8 or 9 guys on game day.
Right. And one of the other great spots you're in is with wide receiver. You've got the top 4 guys with Diggs, Sanders, Beasley, Davis, and then now you've got a guy like Kumaro who has really emerged. And I've said it a lot on our radio show that you get guys that come out and have a great first week, then you don't see them for a month, right? And they don't make the team for that. Kumaro's been there and has shown up and has stayed productive throughout training camp. But then you got Isaiah McKenzie, you got Marquez, Stevenson. Yeah. So could this be one of the years? There were 8 teams, I think, last year that had 7 wideouts. You guys carried 6. Yeah. Could that change this year?
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the positions that we've got to decide. Do we keep an extra receiver and one less tight end, or how do we do our running backs? Those guys you mentioned have done a great job. Kumaro. Coincidentally, we're playing Green Bay today, but the cool thing about him, sometimes you get paired with a quarterback, you're running with the 1s, you're always getting it from Josh, you're paired with the 2s, you're running with Mitch. He's played on all levels, worked his way up, and he's been a mesh. All these quarterbacks like throwing to him. He's a big target, and again, another guy, Heath Farwell, will use him 4 phases. So that's going to factor into him at the back end of this roster.
Jake Fromm was looking to take a shot underneath. It's incomplete, looking for Hollister. And Cynthia down on the sideline has a question for you, Brandon. Cynthia?
Well, Brandon, thank you so much again for this opportunity. It's been such a cool experience. I'm really grateful. You and I have talked a lot about measurables on the field, from arm length to speed, all these different things. Can you tell me a little bit more about what are the qualitative aspects that you look for to define who is a Bill? Because that's something special that you do so well, and I think the people at home should hear a little bit about it.
Yeah, Cynthia, we obviously have prototype, measurables for all the positions this year. The way it worked out, it's not that we won't go away from it. Ed Oliver's not a prototype size, but his unique quickness and strength is enough, and speed to overcome his lack of length. But again, this year with Rousseau.
Finish that point in a second, Brandon. The Bills call timeout. We got to take a commercial break. We'll come back and have the rest of Brandon's answer, with the Bills leading the Packers 13-0 on the Buffalo Bills television network. Or at least one of them, or maybe more, up here in the booth. It's hot. Brandon Bean is with us. Let's let you finish your answer to Cynthia's question.
Yeah, so she was asking me about the size and the length and that we look for in these guys. Again, there are exceptions. I was talking about Ed, but the guys we found this year, you can't teach what they have. You know, they're coming off the bus, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", and those long arms that Greg has, or Spencer Brown playing at tackle, making guys, you know, Spencer's big thing is there's no reason to get beat inside with that link. Make guys go around him, and I think he's done a great job of using that.
Fromm connects with one of the newest Bills, Kareth White, who races out of bounds after picking up a Buffalo first.
Yeah, we talked when you drafted Rousseau, then you drafted, you know, Spencer Brown, and then Tommy. You could sell tickets just to see how big these guys are. I mean, they're freakishly tall, and yet, you know, they're like you see a pro athlete. They've got some athleticism that really sets them apart. You know, Spencer Brown, former tight end, and of course Rousseau. That's really been something I think is going to pay dividends. We saw it in the sacks that Rousseau got. I was mentioning quarterbacks feel him even when he's not close enough to get a sack.
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, even I know one of the days our first team offense, Josh was doing a boot, and Greg saw the boot, and as big as Josh is, Greg stuck his arms up there, and Josh did complete the ball, but he made him put so much loft on it, the linebacker came over there and made the play. Otherwise, Josh could have drilled it in there on a shorter guy, and maybe it's a bigger gain. So you saw that, and we're going to face that. You know, the Jets in our division, they're going to run that wide zone stuff, a lot of the boot action that we've seen today. It helps when you got guys as big as Greg.
Fromm getting some run here in the second half on 2nd down and 14, looking for Kumaro deep, and the adjustment is made, but they're saying he's out of bounds.
Oh, good catch, but
was a great catch.
I thought he got his feet in. We'll see if we can get a replay of that on the sidelines, because it looked like he got both feet in. Oh, his foot was on the line. First one down was on the line. It was very close. Got the second one in. That's a nice throw by Fromm as well. And that's another thing. It's probably, I'm not going to say it for you, it's probably a 2-quarterback roster, but you can't live without 3 at least. Practice squad becomes an option. Jake Fromm was with you last year. What did he show you last year when he was by himself in the middle of the room?
What a weird year we set Jake Fromm up with unintentionally in the COVID world. He's drafted, but good throw there. But Jake did a heck of a job. I mean, to have to go through a season sitting, you know, away from all of his teammates in every meeting, including the quarterback room, and in practice, he's working out in the weight room by himself while we start. He comes back for the team periods, and he's literally going through his motions from 30 yards behind where Josh, you know, or Barkley were doing. And, you know, what a tough deal for him, but he handled it great, matured, and you know, this was the first chance he's gotten to play in games, you know, this preseason, and excited to see what he's done so far. That was a great drive against Detroit. You know, makes the big 4th down throw. He's got something to him. Jake is not the biggest or the strongest, but he's got that it factor, and he's really done a great job.
And a good decision there just to throw that one to the ground. How about the competition at offensive guard? You've got some options there. What have you seen from the guard play this summer?
Yeah, you know, we kind of told the guys it's going to be a battle up there. You know, we've had some incumbent guys. You know, Feliciano started for us for a couple years. Cody Ford, who we drafted, started him at tackle, moved him down. Ike Bucker started the end of the season when we lost Cody last year, and really was a big part of that run we had late in the year. Those guys have been the leader in the clubhouse. We've been rotating them around, and you know, it's going to be tight. We feel good with any of them, so we feel like we do have 3, and if one goes down, we still have 2 that we're happy with, and all of them have a lot of starting experience for us.
Fromm looking end zone, and it's broken up. Well, the calendar is different. I mean, this is the first time that cuts are not coming on Labor Day weekend. You have to get down to 53 by this Tuesday. But it's not an off weekend for you. You just told us in the break you're going to be going out to a bunch of college games on Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. You know, you see, usually we're doing cut down that weekend, and you see games on in the building, and you're kind of checking out. It's the first chance you can see, you know, some of these, you know, Power 5 schools. So I love it that now we're cutting this roster down. We'll get our practice squad set, and then Friday through Monday, I'm going to be able to catch 5 college games, which just gives me an early start on the season to see some of these guys. So excited about that, and the new schedule that we have to, you know, to pare this thing down.
Jake Fromm up the middle, lowers his shoulder, and he takes it in. A 13-yard touchdown run by Jake Fromm. And Brandon, how about this scene here for a preseason game in Buffalo?
That was awesome coming out of the tunnel. You know, usually preseason, this point of the year, you're ready to cut it down. But first time at home, and just so much fun to be in front of our fan base. And It was cool last night just to see pulling out of here the lots filled up with RVs, you know, like, hey, we're back. I was out around the track this morning. I smelled charcoal. I mean, I'm like, gives you chills to be in, you know, Bills Nation.
Sean McDermott decided to go for 2 here. And what's the first thing you do after this game shuts down, final gun goes off? How long does it take you, and who do you talk to about how these players played?
Yeah, so we'll watch the film either tonight, first thing in the morning, and then I'll get with I'll get with Sean and the offensive side, and then the defensive side, and we'll go through it. We'll talk through who did well, who didn't. Obviously, the medical report, from Nate Bresky and his staff, and then we'll just kind of go through it and start paring it down. These are the guys that we're definitely going to move on from. These are guys, again, a lot of it comes into practice squad. Okay, this guy's not going to be able to make our 53. Do we want this corner or this corner, or can we fit them both? Now the practice squads are, at 16 again, which is nice in this COVID world that we're still all dealing with. So fortunately, we're at 80. You take 53, but we can add 16 back. Hopefully most of them will be able to, we won't lose too many to where we can add those guys back to our team.
Bills going for 2, leading 19-0. Kareth White is the running back next to Fromm. Pressure coming, and it's incomplete. We'll keep you for one more segment, Brandon. We appreciate you being with us. Timeout on the field. All Bills so far. They lead at 19-0 on the Packers. The touchdown run, and the Bills lead at 19-0. Brandon Beane, the Bills general manager, continues to join us here in the broadcast booth. The final preseason game of the summer as the Bills ramp up for Week 1 against Pittsburgh.
We talked about Josh Allen. Congratulations on getting him extended. A little creative way to do it. And we knew it was when, not if. As you guys had constantly said, it really sets the organization up with some costs certainly going forward at the most important spot on the roster.
Yeah, it does. We were excited to get that done. I know Josh was excited as well. He's always told me how much he loves it here and wanted to be here. And those things are not easy, especially a deal of that complexity. But that's a huge piece because you've always got to, once you have that quarterback, that's the biggest thing to build your cap around. And part of the trickiness too was this is the first time in NFL history the cap has gone down. And so just there were some things that we had to work through with his representatives that maybe didn't measure up, but we made up for it with some other things, guarantees and things like that. But that'll be big, and we were able to structure it so that we didn't lose too much space. We're hovering around high 6s right now, and we won't be able to do much because we've got to save for replacement costs. But we'll still be flexible these next few days. If the right opportunity came to go get another player, we wouldn't hesitate.
We talked about this. We were going to do this whether you were here or not. It just came to me when we were talking 2018 draft. Josh Allen got extended. Tremaine Edmonds is coming up. If you look at the 2018 draft and the guys that you grabbed in that draft, it's Josh, Tremaine Edmonds, Harrison Phillips, Taron Johnson, Saran Neal. Those 5 guys are still with the team. Your next guy is Wyatt Teller, who is in Cleveland. You got some stuff back for him. It was a trade. Every single guy in that draft is still playing in the National Football League. That's got to be that's got to make you feel really good about your evaluation process.
Yeah, I mean, that's all credit to our scouts. They do a great job of helping pare it down for me and Joe Shane, and as we do that, and that was a great start, obviously, to get Josh. We were very fortunate that he was there, and we had the ammo to get up to 7, and that's the guy we just talked about. Harrison Phillips, he got injured last week. He's had a heck of a camp. Last year was a rough year for him coming off the ACL from 19, and I thought he was having a heck of a camp, got dinged up, but hopefully we'll get him back sooner rather than later. And Taron Johnson is another guy who made 2 huge plays for us. Pittsburgh game, Sunday Night Football, we couldn't get anything going. He makes the pick 6, and we never looked back, and that we kind of carried that momentum. And obviously the Ravens game, there was only 6,000 people here, but I swear it felt like the building was coming down.
It was one of the most historic plays in the franchise's history.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was. It was a phenomenal play.
Yeah, it really was. And he banged his hand this week, or we were going to play him. We had held him out so far, but he's done a heck of a job. And as we said earlier, a nickel is like a starting player in this league now. It used to be a niche player, but he's on the field a lot more than that third linebacker. So we're excited, to have him, and hopefully we can keep him here going forward.
Another guy that you didn't draft but has really fit in so well with your culture and your defense is Justin Zimmer, and what a summer he has had for you.
Zimmer is, I mean, that's a great story that every one of us can learn from. He's a guy you point to your kids or if you're coaching, because Zim had bounced around. We signed him here in early August last year, and basically when you sign him then you're going, it's probably too late to make our roster unless we have injuries, but is he worth a practice squad? So we get him on the practice squad, and we couldn't keep him off the field. He was driving our first team offense nuts in practice and scrimmages, and all credit to him. He obviously makes the huge play against Cam Newton last year, forcing that fumble. And we were, our season was kind of teetering a little bit, not bad, but we hadn't had that signature play, and I think that really got us going. It gave us confidence. The next week we play Seattle, who people thought were probably going to blow the doors off of us. And that play, if he doesn't make that play, you never know. Momentum's such a big thing. So Justin Zimmer's a big part of our team.
Now that you and Sean have established this culture that you've talked so much about when you guys got here, is it easier to find players that fit the culture, or is that still a big part of how you evaluate who you want to bring in?
It definitely is. I mean, obviously we have minimums that the guy's got to be this athletic or these size or measurables, but beyond that, we will take, a lesser talented player that is going to do all the right things. He's smart, he's tough, he's dependable, he's going to take care of his body. He's just going to do everything to be a pro, and he's going to be a good teammate. And we just feel that it's so important. The collective 11 is much bigger than the individual player. We want individual stars, we do, but at the same time, it's such a team game and the ultimate team game. It's the ultimate team game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon, we always are so appreciative that you come up to the booth. People are sick of hearing me and Steve talk the whole game, so we love when you get in here and break it down for us. And thanks so much.
Awesome.
Good luck this season.
Good to see you. Appreciate you.
Congratulations on putting together a roster. It's going to be fun to watch.
It's going to be fun. We'll see.
General Manager Brandon Beane joining us here in the third quarter. And Steve, good stuff as always out of Brandon.
Yeah, it's a privilege to have him in here because, I mean, the guy that calls the shots for the team that we broadcast for, it's always good to get some insights above field level. He's certainly on. It's interesting. He's right. These games at this point, they're about the others. You know who your guys are, the nuts and bolts of your team is going to be, and not only the nuts and bolts, but also the engine, right? So to find out who's going to be helping those guys play well is really interesting. They're gonna, it's all hands on deck anytime they're gonna make some real cuts because the coaches and the players have invested a lot in making this team, and they want to make sure they get the most return for those investments.
That's Brandon Bryant going into the blue medical tent for the Bills. Big opportunity for him today with Phillips out with the knee injury and Trayvon Hester going on IR. So hopefully Brandon Bryant is okay. We're through three quarters here in Orchard Park, and the Bills lead it 19-0 over the Packers. You're watching the Buffalo Bills television network. Bills in Green Bay with 1 quarter to go in the summer. Hot day here in Orchard Park, and the fans have loved it. Finally able to come back in full force, and they sure have shown up here. A great atmosphere for a preseason game between Buffalo and Green Bay. Kurt Benkert is the Green Bay quarterback. 2nd down and 7 as we start the 4th quarter. Benkert pump fakes, now fires, and it's incomplete. Looking for Dexter Williams. Benkert, second-year man out of Virginia. Spent last year on the Atlanta Falcons practice squad. He has been the man for Green Bay for much of the summer, with Aaron Rodgers not playing and Jordan Love missing the game a week ago. And Steve, a guy that I know you know, we were all hoping to see, Jake Dolegala, was just cut yesterday by Green Bay, but a Hamburg, New York native played at St. Francis.
Yeah, a good Western New York native. He probably had to get 50 tickets for this game and then ended up not playing in it.
As Amari Rodgers makes the catch for Green Bay.
Yeah, he's got a nice following here in Western New York. There's a ton of cross-pollination between these two teams. If you go down there, obviously everybody's familiar with Jake Kumaro and him being Aaron Rodgers' all-time favorite receiver. I'm exaggerating. Then you've also got Micah Hyde, of course, the great safety for the Buffalo Bills, who played 4 years in Green Bay as well. Kumaro Nate Hackett, the offensive coordinator for Green Bay, held that same role here in Buffalo. Jerry Gray on the coaching staff. Jason Vrabel, who was here in Buffalo, of course. So you've got some guys, of course. Isaiah McDuffie is a Buffalo guy as well, who went to high school here in the city. So a lot of cross-pollination, a lot of connections here between these two organizations on the field, on the coaching staff, with the players, and everybody involved. It's old home week here. Even across the way here, James Lofton and Kevin Harlan in the booth next to us.
Lofton playing for both the Packers and the Bills in his Hall of Fame career. Second down and 6. Benkert is chased out, throws on the run, and completes it to Hazleton. A flag is down on the near side of the field. And we'll see what the penalty marker is.
It's a late flag at the line of scrimmage away from the play.
Pass interference. Offense, number 49. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
Pass interference on the tight end, Dominique Daphne, the first-year man out of Indiana State.
And I think what it is they're going to try and they cross. It was a rub route at the bottom of your screen here as it comes out. Right over here, he runs interference for the underneath route that ends up getting the interception. That's how, well, there you go. That's how Hazleton got open.
So the penalty makes it second down and 16. Benkert tipped in the air and incomplete. Tyrell Dotson was closing quickly on that deflected football.
Trying to get that to Patrick Taylor, and it just got tipped up in the air. Look, that's always dangerous for a quarterback, but that's, you know, long defensive linemen who have long arms cause real problems for quarterbacks. And Benkert is a 6'3" guy, and which sounds tall in everyday life, and it is, but not in the middle of an NFL pocket.
Third down and long. Benkert in trouble, steps up, throws on the run, and connects with Patrick Taylor. And Taylor is wrestled down close to a first down.
Looks like he might have bulled his way for the first. Getting tackled there by Andre Smith and Tim Harris.
And it's fourth down. They're marking him just short.
Yeah, very close, but lots of fourth downs in this game that are, you know, at fourth down attempts. Now the Bills will send out some heavy bodies. It's Boogie Basham coming onto the field. Bam Johnson coming off. We'll see.
Green Bay calling another timeout. 12:36 to go. It's 19-0 Buffalo. As the Bills lead it 19-0. And the Packers are going to go for it on a 4th and inches from the Buffalo 16-yard line. It's a pitch to Dexter Williams, and he is not going to get there. For the second time today, the Bills stuffed the Packers on 4th down, and it was the rookie Boogie Basham making a big play. We were just talking about Basham with Bills general manager Brandon Beane, and that's why they made him a 2nd-round pick. Bills fans, this is your last chance to enter to win an autographed Josh Allen jersey. Just simply open your phone's camera, zoom in closely on the QR code displayed on the screen right now, and click the link for your chance to win. That's right, Bills fans. We are giving away an autographed Josh Allen jersey to one lucky fan. Simply scan the QR code on the screen now to enter. So Jake Fromm remains the Buffalo quarterback. Sean McDermott told us it would be Fromm after Josh Allen, and he wasn't sure if Davis Webb would get out there. So clearly the Bills want to take a longer look at the 5th-round pick from Georgia. Meanwhile, Cynthia down on the sideline with a special guest.
Well, look who I'm with. It's Tre'Davious White. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
You know, it's a little toasty down here, but we're having a lot of fun.
It is. You got that blaze on. I thought you was going to take it off.
Like, I cut my sleeves off earlier, so it's okay. Hey, you had a pass breakup in the first half. How did it feel? There's 50,000 fans here. They were all super excited. You know, there was no fans last season, or not as many. How does it feel now?
It felt even great. It felt great. I mean, it felt even better that it was a 4th down. We can get our team off the field and get the ball back to offense, and we didn't give up points in the red zone. So that's what's most important. We was just out here just trying to work on, you know, our fundamentals and just trying to play team-oriented football, and I think that we did a great job of that. The plays that we was on, it was just trying to get the kinks out and get some good plays on film and just try to see where we're at as a defense that won.
Absolutely. So we saw that good, and now you're getting to watch these guys making the team. If there's one guy that you're cheering the hardest for, who is it?
Oh, that's a tough one because I got a lot of young guys that, you know, that I be trying to school in the secondary that I really like. Young guy, number 38, Nick McLeod is the one that I like. Rashard Wildgoose, 32, he's another one that I love his game, love the way he come in and battle every day. And also Josh Thomas, 36, a safety that we have, has been making noise ever since he got here last year. Injuries derailed him of the season last year, but this year I feel like, you know, he got a good shot. So we got a lot of young guys in the secondary that can make a lot of plays for us, and we're going to need them down the stretch.
Okay, so Bills Mafia needs to know this. When you walked up here to me, I asked you a question. I was like, well, what do you want to talk about? He goes, I want to talk about my quarterback.
Yeah.
So tell me what we need to know about your quarterback, Josh Allen.
I mean, he's still hungry. He's itching to get better. Him and Diggs, those guys have a great connection, and he's making us as a defense better each and every day. You know, going up against him. Some days we leave the practice field frustrated. He got all our coaches frustrated at us, but I mean, it's been even key. I think that we have a few days where we got the best of him too, but he's been making us better each and every day. And what better look you can get in the practice each and every day besides a top 5 quarterback in the league. So I think that we got the best of both of us for sure.
We got a top 5 quarterback in the league, top 5 cornerback in the league. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a great season.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Cynthia, thanks. And Steve, how does one go about getting sunglasses on the sideline during a game?
I think you have to have a special relationship with the equipment manager.
Really? I guess Trey has that.
I think you get that special relationship by being an all-pro, too. That seems to help. I'll say this. I never had sunglasses on the sideline. That's true. I never had. And that's one other thing. Preseason games used to be prime time, used to be at night.
Yeah.
What do you I'm kind of a fan of the 1 o'clock preseason game, except for the fact that it's 1,000 degrees.
It is warm. But I don't think anybody will be complaining about that in a couple of months.
No, they won't.
Gareth White remains the running back, and he takes the handoff for the Bills. Gets a yard on the play. He was signed on Monday and has a long history with Devin Singletary. They were teammates together at Florida Atlantic. In fact, White was the backup to Singletary.
Go a little no huddle.
Our 1st and 10 technology is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Fromm going deep down the sideline, incomplete. Was looking for Tanner Gentry.
Just a little too much on that one. Tanner Gentry down the sidelines, had a step. A perfect throw would have been there, but not enough on it. I like the way what you see from Fromm. It seems. And same thing with Davis Webb in the Detroit game and the Chicago game. They showed a lot of poise in the pocket, a lot of presence of mind. And I think both these guys have acquitted themselves really well in this preseason.
And Ryan Bates, the very valuable member of the Bills offensive line, is down on one. Ryan Bates was able to walk off under his own power. He is the backup center on this team and really can play anywhere up on that offensive line. So moving around pretty well, and hopefully for Buffalo's sake, he is okay. Meanwhile, Jake Fromm's been okay. 10 of 16, 87 yards. Also the rushing touchdown from the 5th-round pick a year ago out of Georgia. On 3rd down and 9. Pressure coming from in trouble, and down he goes.
Yeah, they sent pressure, and he didn't have a real answer to go to in the passing game.
That was Delonte Scott who came up.
Brandon Powell was over the ball on the hook. He was covered, and that was really the only outlet, and almost max protection for Fromm, and the Packers just got through it.
It was Scott and Isaiah McDuffie, who we talked about earlier. Now you see Bates is heading off. But some cheers for Isaiah McDuffie, the Packers' 6th-round pick out of Boston College, a Buffalo native, played at Bennett High School. Now Matt Hawk trying to pin the Packers deep. A fair catch called for at the 14-yard line. Well, we talked about it with Brandon Beane a little bit, but it is interesting to see what the Bills decide to do behind Josh Allen and Mitchell Trubisky. Can you expose Fromm and Webb to waivers and then hope to get them back on the practice squad? Do you have to keep one of those guys on the roster? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Davis Webb is an asset because he's got a presence in the quarterback room, and let's face it, the backup quarterback and the 3rd-string quarterback, or practice squad quarterback in this case, their job is to get Josh Allen ready to play every Sunday. That's part of what their job description is. It doesn't, they don't have to get ready to play because only mentally. They're not going to take reps. So the chemistry in the quarterback room is about getting your #1 guy ready to play every week. If Davis Webb is better at that than Jake Fromm, or if they're both, if they can both be an asset, you have to get that right. And that's what Trubisky's here for. Trubisky's going to be a voice for Josh Allen, a force for his preparedness. So that's what that room's about. So the best combination to get that done is who makes the team and in what capacity. The Packers this declining here to just kind of keep a running clock, I suppose.
And Darryl Johnson making another tackle. He's another tough call for Buffalo. We spoke about it. Such a big impact on special teams, but competes at the defensive end position where the Bills are really loaded with talent. So,
and he's not a bad defensive end either. He can play the down and distance as well.
Benkert, and it's broken up. Getting a hand on that was DeMar Hamlin, the rookie 6th-rounder out of Pittsburgh. Justin Zimmer was coming in on the quarterback.
Really good play by Hamlin. Came in and perfectly knocked away. Perfect position on the break on the ball. Two young guys doing a job on both ends of this. Zimmer's coming in close, but watch Hamlin stay with him and just tip it away harmlessly. That's well defended.
And Marquez Stevenson is back deep. He had the 79-yard punt return for a touchdown last week in Chicago. Injured his foot on the play, and he was a bit of a question mark leading into this game, but he was able to go. He's another interesting case for Brandon Beane and the Bills as he comes up to the 39-yard line on the return, and he's tackled at the 45. 42-yard punt, a return of 4. 6:31 to go. Bills lead 19-0. Bills going to a new quarterback. It is Davis Webb, who so far this summer is 15 out of 22 for 120 yards and a touchdown. However, last week in Chicago, he lost 2 fumbles, so trying to get that taste out of his mouth as he enters here in the 4th quarter against Green Bay.
6.5 minutes to go in the game. You'd think it'd be interesting. It's always fascinating to me since Brian Daboll took over as play caller, what his philosophy is. He rarely does what's expected. Right here, what's expected is handing the football off and keep a running clock with a 19-point lead in the last quarter of the last preseason game. And he's going to throw it.
Of course he is. He's throwing to Kareth White out of the backfield. And White is tackled at the 46-yard line.
Does that make me right or wrong? I don't know. But
You're always right.
Yeah, in my own mind I am. But we started this game. Let's go back. Josh Allen trying to knock the rust off. They show and they don't hand it off at all.
Yeah.
All they do is throw it.
Third season for Webb with the Bills, but this summer is the first time he's actually played in a game against an opponent. No preseason games a year ago, and he didn't join the Bills until after the preseason in 2019. Throwing on the run, and it's caught by Becker. Second catch today for Nate Becker, the first-year tight end out of Miami of Ohio, and it covers 22 yards.
Yeah,
there's a flag down as well.
Squeeze this just in ahead of Christian Uphoff, who's trying to get in, break on this ball from the secondary. You see there, just misses. Uphoff coming all the way over from center field.
That penalty is declined. The result of the play is the first down.
All the Bills were walking back to the original line of scrimmage because they thought the penalty was against them, and then they had to go back to where it was because it was against Green Bay.
It's a good throw by Webb, just squeezing it in, and Becker, concentration was great.
We mentioned this comment a couple of weeks ago, but when we met before the preseason with Brandon Beane, he said, I can't think of a practice squad player who has had a bigger impact on winning in my career than Davis Webb. And that touches on what you were saying about the quarterback room, as he's able to pick up that low snap, but then it's dropped by Becker.
Yeah, on that, Webb kind of hurried that throw a little bit after he kind of panicked after he dropped the snap.
Time for our spotlight of the game, presented by Wegmans Meals to Go. Delicious meals delivered. Download the app today. Here's Cynthia.
Today's spotlight is on Gabriel Davis, who went 5 for 5 for 75 yards. By the way, one of those came in a 31-yarder. His touchdown was really fun to watch. I got to see it live in person, really close. A very hard thrown ball, caught really, really spectacularly. By the way, if you're looking for a fantasy sleeper, circle him and steal him from your friends, because I think you can probably get him in a round, and he's going to surpass expectations.
That's an interesting point, Cynthia, because when you look at these Bills receivers, you've got Sanders, Beasley, and Diggs. So how much room is there going to be for Davis? But you still think he could be a sleeper?
Absolutely. This guy, he catches touchdowns. You know how you score points in fantasy? The end zone. That's where he's going to look.
She's right. And he was one of those guys where when you get into a team that's even with a good defense, it's rare that a team goes 4 deep at corner. So if they play man, Gabe Davis is a much better player than a 4th string guy who's the 4th wide receiver, and he wins those matchups.
Webb taking a shot for the end zone, incomplete. Looking for one of the newest Bills, Steven Sims, who was signed on Wednesday. Well, last year, Gabriel Davis with 7 touchdowns. That was tied for 2nd among rookies and the 3rd most by a rookie in franchise history. Some really good company on that list for Gabriel Davis.
He had it in the pool last year. I've said it a couple of times. Gabe Davis caught the very first pass of the 2020 regular season last year as a rookie right out of the gate, and of course it turned out to be a 13-win season, and he got it started. I just say that.
4th down and 8, and Sean McDermott will go for it. Webb looking deep for Sims again, but nobody home.
See, quarterbacks, they try and throw that so that it won't get intercepted, and you've got to put a little more air on it, give the receiver a chance to run it down rather than try and put it right on his fingers. It's just a hard throw, even if the guy's open. If you're going to try and hit him in stride, that's great, but you need to throw it out there at a spot where he can go get it. And on that, both throws there, Webb just put too much on those throws for the receiver to adjust and make the catch.
Going back to Davis, the first jersey he ever owned was Aaron Rodgers. And you wonder if after the game Davis will go try to chat with the guy that he grew up admiring. Of course, there is a Steve Tasker jersey in the stands today that I noticed. Is that your brother or cousin that's here today?
I was an in-law. They feel like they have to right now.
Nah, we're joking with the Wall of Famer. Oh, there we go. How about it?
Those are hard to get. Let me just say that. You don't find those stacked up at Walmart. I tell you that, right? I mean, you got to call somebody to have one made.
We love you. That's Patrick Taylor up the middle, and Zimmer is able to cut him down. Yeah, well, as we move closer to the end of the preseason here, Steve, let's get some thoughts on your expectations for the regular season for Buffalo. We know certainly all the continuity they bring back, and coming off a year where they went to the championship game, what's the ceiling this year?
Oh, I think their floor is 11 wins. I think it's going to be more than that. I think it's more 12, maybe even 13 once again, like it was a year ago. I think this is a team that is going to win a lot of football games. A lot of football games. They're going to be very difficult to beat. I think there's certain teams on the schedule that will give them problems. New England is going to be a very good football team this year. Kansas City, yes, as well. Tampa Bay, the world champions, of course. But there are some other teams that I think the Bills might look sideways at and want a little bit of revenge. The New Orleans Saints might be one on Thanksgiving. The New Orleans Saints came in Sean McDermott's early years here in Buffalo and embarrassed the team in their own home field. I think a coaching staff remembers that. I think there's another one, Tennessee Titans, in the COVID game a year ago, one of the two in a row that Buffalo dropped there in the second month of the season. I think the Bills will remember that game as well. So there's a lot of emotion that goes into these games, and for fans, it's just, is it a great road trip? Let's go, right?
Of course.
But for the players and the coaches, I think they look at them each one at a time, and each of them has their own, their own baggage that goes with it. But this is a club that is a double-digit win team, no question about it. And I think their ceiling is as high as 15 in a 17-game schedule. They are really going to be tough if they're healthy.
That's always the key as we've hit the 2-minute warning here in Orchard Park. Bills looking for the shutout. They lead at 19-0.
Welcome to your new emergency department.
The first impression for most patients is going to be just a big wow.
It's
minutes to go here in the preseason, and for an injury update, let's go down to Cynthia.
3 notes for you here. Defensive tackle Brandon Bryant is officially out with a concussion. Offensive lineman Ryan Bates has a hand injury, and I just saw Marquez Stevenson, Speedy, go into the locker room to be evaluated for a head injury.
All right, Cynthia, thank you very much. As Benkert lets it go deep, and it's incomplete, and we want to say kudos to Cynthia, her first year with us on the preseason broadcast. And
undefeated.
She knocked it out of the park. Yeah, undefeated. How about that? 3-0.
Undefeated when I'm here. I mean, I don't think I should leave.
That's right. Set up shop.
It's been a really, really huge blast. I really appreciate it. This has been a fun team to work for from top to bottom, literally owners down to people who, are running around with cables are the nicest people and treat it all the same. So it's been a really special opportunity. Thank you for having me.
Well, you brought some good stuff to the broadcast. I appreciate you, Cynthia. Have a great season yourself. You're going to be out and about in the national spotlight, so it's going to be great to watch you from now on.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Family, yeah.
Listen, I've got a lot of Bills gear now, so I mean, I'm in. I'm all in this Mafia gear.
Got to get a Justin Zimmer jersey. This guy continues to impress. A sack here.
Yeah, he's put some pressure on earlier, and then he splits a double team between a chip block and from the running back and the tackle. Justin Zimmer getting in on the quarterback. If you just keep playing, sometimes you get some things that happen. That's what happened when, his signature play, the Cam Newton play last year, a play he says he doesn't want that to define his career. And certainly plays that he makes are all about effort and, just sticking to it.
Tim Harris makes the tackle on 4th down, a turnover on downs, and the Bills will get the football back with 1:05 to go. As Cynthia said, undefeated this summer, 3-0, but it'll now be 8 consecutive preseason wins for the Buffalo Bills.
Sean McDermott came to Buffalo, first-time head coach, self-proclaimed knowing he had a lot to learn and had to grow. And, it took him a couple of years to get his staff honed in. Heath Farwell came in, and self-admittedly, Heath Farwell, the special teams coordinator, said, I had some work I had to do on me, and he got better. Sean McDermott was patient with him, and last year they came back and had a huge year on special teams. And Sean McDermott is he preaches it to his players, and they see him live it. He is a much better head coach now than he was 3 or 4 years ago, or perhaps even 2 years ago. And it shows in the way his team performs in every Sunday. He gets the most out of the roster that Brandon Beane gives him, and it's been interesting and fun to watch.
We asked him this week if he had considered the rest plan for the starters before the preseason or if it was week by week, and he said, nah, about 75% of my plan was in place before the preseason. So we said, well, why did you want to see the starters then in this game against Green Bay? And he said, I've been very happy with the offense. Just wanted to get them into a little bit of a flow before week one. Well, mission accomplished for Sean McDermott as Josh Allen and the starters look tremendous for Buffalo, and they'll be all amped up for week one against Pittsburgh, as Buffalo has a great chance to get off to a good start this season. They're one of 3 teams to start the year with 3 of their first 4 games at home.
Yeah, and it's crucial. The crowd, you got a taste of it today with so many people here for this preseason game. You know it is going to be absolutely standing room only on opening day. People around this region have been pointing towards opening day of 2021. Fans back in the stands, Super Bowl aspirations, a franchise quarterback who just signed an extension, and a talented, exciting roster. Yes, expectations couldn't be higher, and the Bills have earned those expectations.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap it up from Orchard Park. The Bills complete the preseason with a perfect 3-0 record. They win it 19-0 over the Packers.
The Olympic Games.